This week on the Digital Coffee, YouTube are going to allow you to add corrections to your videos. Over on LinkedIn, they really want you to switch to a creator account and they're offering some more key features. And on Twitter, if you have a professional account, your bio could be about to get more interesting. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb. I am a ROI marketing mentor, which means I can help you get more money from the time and investment that you spend online. You can find out more about me at spiderworking.com. You're very welcome to the show. I can see we have Hannah with us already over on LinkedIn. Always good to know that LinkedIn is working. If you're watching on Facebook, do give us a hello. And if you're watching on YouTube, say hi. I can see you're there. I just don't know who you are. You're very welcome to the news. We have a lot to cover today. I do have a question of the week and I've forgotten what it is. Do you take online courses? That's what I'd like you to know. Do you take online courses? Have you signed up for them? Do you take a lot of them? Have you taken one or two? Or do you just prefer doing it in person? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I can see we've got James. Hey James, great to see you here over on YouTube. You've put the kettle on. The Friday reminder to put the kettle on. Yes, if you follow me on Twitter, I will remind you that you should put the kettle on. Over on Facebook, hello Kate, I can see you. Great to see you're drinking tea. I forgot to ask the question, so thanks for that reminder. What is in your mug? I have had quite a large, this is my prop. See, I'm giving away all the secrets now. This is my prop mug, so rarely does actually liquid touch it. I'm also not allowed coffee because I talk too fast if I drink coffee. This is the real one. This had tea in it earlier and it's drunk. Oh, but I will be having coffee when the show's finished. So do let me know what you're drinking, and sorry for the bump on the microphone. And I've just given away all the secrets. Don't tell anyone, will you? Hello to Joanne. Great to see you here, Joanne. And yes, Hannah does take online courses and she's doing one with Louise Brogan, my friend and sometimes colleague. So that's great to hear. You'll know why I'm asking that question later on, so do stick with me. But for now, let's get on with the news.
You're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, compared to other social networks, your bio on Twitter is pretty basic, isn't it? You've got your text and you've got links and you've got your photo and your cover photo, and that's about it. I think you can add a location, can you? There's a few other things, but it is pretty basic. And particularly for a business, it would be great to be able to showcase a little bit more there, much like you can on Facebook or on Instagram. Well, good news for some people on Twitter. If you have a professional account, step number one, if you have a bricks and mortar business, and if you are in, as most of you are, the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, but sadly not Ireland, you will be able to activate a location spotlight bio, which looks a little bit like this. It's very cool. You'll be able to add, let's see what you can add before I forget. You'll be able to add your business location. You'll be able to add your opening hours. You will be able to add your contact info, which will link to a map. And all of that will appear on your bio, and there'll be buttons for your contact info and to get directions to your business. Now, this is great. I think it's long needed. I think really it's nice to see Twitter embracing businesses a little bit more. I mean, I know everything that happens in Twitter at the moment, we just never know. Is it going to stick? We don't even know if the Elon Musk deal is going to happen now. I mean, I've stopped covering it in news. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But I do think this is an advantage. It's a shame it's limited at the moment, because I know there are a lot of businesses that would like some additional pieces that they could put into their bio. But I think it's a great first step. It's It's going to make it easier for customers to find you and for customers to contact you. And also it's going to make your bio stand out a little bit that you are actually a proper business. I think it's a good thing. I can see that Joanne is making some coffee, and you prefer online training. You love online over in-person training. That's good to know. That's good to know because obviously for us as trainers, I do quite love training, and I actually prefer delivering it online. I thought I did until I went and did some in-person events again. And actually there is a nice balance between the two. It just means both for the person doing the training and the person participating, there's a lot more time out of your day because you have to travel, you have to organize babysitters or pet sitters or other things around your life to do them, don't you? Which can be a serious disadvantage.
Hey, it's Andy at Content Cal here, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
When you launch a new thing, you want as many people as possible to know about it, right? So what do? You email your list. Of course you do that. You post about it on all your social medias. You might even buy some social media ads, some Google ads, or to let them know that you are launching this thing on this date. And now, or soon, you will be able to use Twitter to launch it, because Twitter are launching a product drop. Now, it's going to be very limited to start with. And what product drop does is when you're launching a new product, in this case, you will be able to add a little button to a tweet telling people about the launch date, and they'll have the option to get reminded. And when they click that button, it means that 15 minutes before their launch, they will get a notification that the product is about to be launched. So this is going to be great for product-based businesses. It means that not just people won't forget, or they're less likely to forget that they want your thing. It also means that you'll be able to create a bit of FOMO. I know we've got May King watching here, because we can create a bit of FOMO, we can create a bit of buzz when it's actually launched, because those first people buying are obviously going to be tweeting about it. So it'll be a lot of people all at one time sharing content. And of course, you'll make more sales. Now, I'm kind of sad that this is limited to start with, because it is for products via Twitter shops. And Twitter shops are only available in the United States. So it's not going to work for most of the people watching this right now. But I do kind of hope that this is just like a step towards giving us this button for other launches that we might have. So for service-based businesses, for people that don't have shops, maybe just a reminder to watch the show, much like you can on Instagram at the moment. They're rolling it out now with some big people like Lego and Christian Dior. I feel like I should be able to say that word, and I've just realised I've never said it out loud. Christian Dior. You know who I'm talking about, right? I've never said that out loud, but I've tried now and I failed. So I do think this is a great innovation. I think it's going to be a great way for you to get a bit more energy behind product launches. I'm going to laugh for a little while now. Excuse me.
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
LinkedIn really want to twist your arm to move over to creator mode. In fact, I think this is quite a successful thing, because I moved over to creator mode when they said, if you have creator mode, you can live stream to LinkedIn. And ta-da, here I am live streaming to LinkedIn. So we know it works. If you haven't been persuaded yet, you may be persuaded with some new features. And these features include, round of a drum roll, please. Audio rooms. So we know audio rooms are on the way. They're being rolled out on LinkedIn. So these are like Clubhouse, or they're like Twitter Spaces. And these rooms are only available to a select group of people at the moment. But apparently they're going to roll them out more to specifically creator accounts. Second one, and I covered this a few weeks ago on the show, and I didn't realize that this was just for creators, you can now add a link to your profile card. So the piece at the top with all your information, you can actually have a link that is clickable right there and visible. And thirdly, you will be able to embed your kind of like follower button on a website. So they're not as exciting as the first round, but it could be enough to persuade a few people over. Now, I know you may be thinking, what is she even talking about, creator mode? So what creator mode is you can switch, anyone can switch it on their profile, and it does give you access to more features. I think it's specifically good for freelancers, it's good for businesses, not so much for job seekers maybe, who want to showcase the content they're creating, who actually create content, whether it's live streams or blog posts or newsletters. It's a place to do that. The downside of switching is your call to action button becomes follow rather than connect. So people tend to follow you rather than connect with you. But it's a definite, for me, it was a no-brainer because I was live streaming. I tried to live stream on LinkedIn for a while and they hadn't let me in. And this was my shortcut in there. So I think it does really work. I suppose the question is, why do they want us in creator mode? And I might talk about that in a little while.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Learning social advertising, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, is a bit of a head wreck. When I first did it, it was relatively simple. But if you've logged into even like Facebook ads, really, the interface alone is enough to make you want to run off and hide in the bed under a duvet. It's quite scary. And I think that's why Boost Post has become so popular. Now, actually, I'm not an advertiser who says everyone should learn advertising, don't use Boost Post. It can be really useful. And of course, we associate Boost Post with Facebook. But of course, last year, LinkedIn launched Boost Post for company pages. So if you have a company page, you can click a Boost Post button very similar to the way that you do on Facebook. And they've just added another thing that you can boost, which is LinkedIn events. So now from a company page, you'll be able to click a boost button and promote an event. And we know that on LinkedIn, this is an event. This live stream, it can be a live stream video. If you have the audio rooms, which I'm not sure about company pages, but if you have audio rooms, you can have an audio room event, and you can obviously have a real life event as well, or an event somewhere else. So this is a really good way for you to get extra video views, extra people attending your events, extra people building awareness with them around your event. So I think this is good, and it means it's a lot less complicated for you to be able to boost that, to be able to advertise it, because it's only a few clicks. Now, the downside is this is limited to company pages, but then I had a thought. LinkedIn are trying to get us into creator mode, more people to become creators on LinkedIn. I wonder, are they considering rolling out some advertising tools? Now, this is just me randomly thinking to creator accounts in the future, because I think that could be hugely valuable, and it would give us the reason that LinkedIn are really pushing those accounts.
I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
From the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
And you're watching The Digital Coffee
with Amanda Webb.
When you create a video on YouTube, particularly if you're me and you've created like social media tutorials for the last 13 years, they go out of date quite quickly. And you could constantly be updating those if you wanted to. But if you do that and you take down the old video, you're losing video views, you're losing engagement, you're losing a lot of kudos on your account. And particularly if you're relying on monetization from your YouTube, that can be a bit of a bummer, a bit of a downer. Or if you do a news show like this one, and maybe you've said something about someone and they've said, hello, that's not actually true, that's not accurate. If you wanted to do something about that, you have to edit the video, which creates a new video. And again, you're losing all your engagement that you've had. So it's been a bit of a problem. What you could do, of course, is create a new video and link to it in the description, link to it in a card, link to it, pin it to the top, pin it as a comment to the top of your profile. But most people will still watch those old videos. You know, even when you put the date on them, people still watch them. I know. I have seen people complain about old videos for me, and I'm kind of, maybe I should take it down. I don't know. So this is a problem for people on YouTube. Thankfully, at last, YouTube are launching something that they're calling YouTube corrections. So these are essentially cards that will pop up during the video correcting. So if you've said something wrong or inaccurate, or if there's a new video, you will be able to add a card that pops up. And as you can see, I know it's very small, but it's bright red. You won't be able to miss it with your correction. So people click, they'll be able to see it. Now, in the article I was reading about this, they said you would even be able to add a link. So you'd be able to link to the updated version as well. I think this is a massive update and well needed in a time where all the social networks are trying to combat misinformation. This is a way that if you've accidentally included, because I know you wouldn't deliberately do it, misinformation in your video, or if you have an old tutorial, you'll easily be able to alert users about it. I've been ignoring YouTube, but I can see I've got a few comments coming in. Hello, Deirdre. Drinking chocolate. Ooh, I'm kind of jealous. James says, industry adding boost posts to events on LinkedIn. Yeah, I think it will be really interesting. I can see there's real value there as well. You shouldn't have to, not everyone should have to go and battle these crazy ad interfaces, should they? It should be a little bit easier for business owners. Great to see Alan here. Hi, Alan, over on LinkedIn. Happy Friday to you as well.
Hello, this is Nicole from Wonderstars, and you are watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, at the moment on Instagram, the only way that you can share posts, like feed posts, is to share them into a story. And we know that Instagram is working on this. We know, for example, a few weeks ago, it was leaked that they were working on a regram button, like an official regram button, like a retweet, like a Facebook share for Instagram, which is so odd because how long have we had Instagram and that hasn't been possible? And now it looks like they're working on another way to share feed posts, specifically images. This was spotted by a reverse hacker, like all these things are, but it's offering you, or some people, the option to remix a photo to a reel. If you click the three dots at the top of the image, this is the menu that you normally see, the share, the link, the, about this account, why am I seeing this post, all of those bits. But now it's adding in this remix to a reel. So this could be a great way to get more eyes on your feed post, more eyes on your content, not just you remixing it, but maybe encouraging other people to remix it as well. It's really interesting though, isn't it, that all of a sudden Instagram are looking for ways that we can share content in a way that we've never been able to before. And I think it shows the significant shift that we've seen in Instagram this year from being, they said it, didn't they? We're no longer a square photo sharing app. It really seems over the last month or 2 months that they really have moved away from that model. And I think sharing in whichever way it actually happens is going to be a big part of that.
Hi, Sasha Lydia from Think Outside the Bot, and you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Since lockdown, learning online has become a lot more accessible. It's become the norm, right? People who never did it before had to do it. If you wanted to learn something, whether you were in school or whether you just needed to learn how Facebook ads worked or something else, you took an online course. That was the way that we did it. And this has been great for course creators like myself because, of course, to teach online, you don't need to leave the house. I've got a whole talk on that. Some of you will have seen it. And, I don't think it replaces in-person learning. I think it's great that that's back and there's a bit of community, but I do think what it has done for us is it's made it the norm. It is normal to learn stuff online. And could that be why it looks like Facebook are about to launch a learning platform? Now, the source of this is they've sent emails to people offering them the chance to run a course on Facebook, not about Facebook, but their own course on the Facebook learning platform. It looks like you get to create your own course. People can create their own courses. They put it on the platform. It's going to be free to do so, at least at first, and you'll get Facebook will take a cut of any sales that you get from that course, which sounds a lot like Udemy. I have no idea how to say that properly. I've been trying to say it for 2 weeks and I can't say it. We'll put that next to Dior. By the way, I worked out how to say that. So it could be like Udemy, which is exactly this. It's a marketplace for online courses. And of course, we've got something similar on LinkedIn Learning, although it doesn't work exactly the same way. I think this could be really accessible for people. I think, for people that have never run an online course before, having an interface that they're familiar with could really help. And for the same reason, it could mean that getting people to attend your courses could be a lot easier. So that's a definite upside. But the downside is it's Facebook. It's Facebook wanting to own the internet again, isn't it? They want to get into every part of the internet that people use and own it. And I'm quite happy with Udemy and other channels owning that. I don't really want Facebook to do it. So I suppose the question is, how many people will trust Facebook with their course content? It's going to be really interesting to see. At 10:30 today, so once we finish this, you've got time to go and grab another cup of coffee, and I definitely get my cup of coffee then. You can join myself and Making Sang on Twitter to talk about these stories in more detail. I want you to have your say. I want you to come along and tell me what you think about these stories. I want you to say, Amanda, I don't agree with you about that. I think this. You're all very welcome to join me. If you come over to Twitter @Spiderworking, you'll see a pinned tweet. If you're joining on desktop, you'll only be able to listen, but if you join on mobile, you'll actually be able to join the conversation. So I hope some of you join us then. I would love to see you, but for those of you that can't, I will see you same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.